And I betrayed everyone.
This one seems better. Because, like, I don't want to have any weird gameplay in it. Let's get into it.
I betrayed everyone
Again.
who looked up to me. I betrayed my friends. I've done the worst possible thing I could have done, and I'm suffering for my choices. I don't know if I can ever come back to my platform.
You're suffering because you got caught. As all of these people.
It's my own fault.
I do not know where to start. When will people stop being exposed for being Diddy online?
Okay.
And I'm not saying stop being exposed. I mean, like,
now we got drawing stuff.
Like,
I don't know.
It's actually so easy to not talk to minors.
Let's see.
Now, this video isn't scripted, so I might get a few things wrong, and I'm not saying I'm gonna get something wrong. I just might not pull some things out of, like, the 200 pages of documents that people have. I'm gonna bring up the proof. I'm gonna show the proof that I have to make my claims, make my opinions. However, I might miss some stuff, because there was just so much to read through. And to anybody who may not be in the community, may not know who this person is, don't worry, I'll give the full context of what's going on.
Okay, good. That's good. Give me the context.
But, like, genuinely, when will y'all just stop talking to minors? So, full disclosure of all the topics.
That's a good ass question. When are these big content creators stopping to talk about talk to kids? Well, what was all the drama that I realized with the kids? We had the Dokkan child diddler stuff. We had the... what else? Dr. Disrespect. Chris Tyson. This one. Like, oh, God.
We talked about is on the screen right now. You could read through them. Now, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to be talking about yet, because I'm actually going to be pulling things straight from it and giving my, raw opinion, raw reaction. And let's just go over this. We are looking at it real time. I'm watching it real time just as you're watching it real time. Now, I'm gonna be for real. I skimmed over some of the documents, and I looked through it a little bit, and it's already looking so bad. Now, if you don't have the heart for...
I'm not covering another document. I did it with the Evil Toaster document. I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it again. It took me 4 hours to get through that, and if that one is even bigger, nah, I'm good.
Topics like this, or conversations like this, or even it's just a...
Maybe if there's like a VTuber one, if that drops one again, maybe I'll go over one again. But like, no.
I have so many other videos you can watch, and there's so many other videos on YouTube that you can just go to. Like, I'm not gonna try to make you stay here, but yeah, I have a lot of art content that if you want to see that instead of this, I totally understand that. So quickly, I just want to start with the background. I want to give the background of this situation, the background of how I even know this artist. Now, I don't know this artist personally. I don't know who they are.
It's an artist, okay.
In their Discord, I've never spoken to them personally. However, I was very into the community that they were heavily related to. Synnibear, who is otherwise known as Scootaloo Loves Sans, was a person who was within the animation meme community, the art drama community, and the Undertale community.
So as far, only as far as I know, this is a 500k follower, like subscriber account. That's wild. First of all, that's another big content creator. In the sense, like, numbers.
Heavily. And unfortunately, I was in all three of these communities. So of course, I'm gonna be a little bit surprised when I find out somebody that I have watched their videos like 6 years ago has now groomed a minor. I feel like I have to say that before I go on a tangent about more context, especially since some of the titles to her videos are not aging well. So,
that didn't age quite so well.
Let's do this. So basically, animation memes are these animations that are memes, which is basically where people repeat or copy and do this.
What? Animation memes?
Or that somebody else did.
Are memes that are animated? Wow.
Content. Usually characters bobbing their heads, but now recently it's kind of improved, where people are going into more story formats than just that. But still, animation memes, they have still the same format. Now, I don't really think that's as important as the connected subcategory of, sub-community of animation memes, which is the art drama community. Heavily related. Both are very heavily related. There was a lot of animation meme artists who also spoke about drama topics.
There is an art drama community. I guess it makes sense. Yeah, sure. I guess it makes sense. I mean, there's a VTuber drama community, so sure. Why not?
videos, and Scootaloo Loves Sans or Synnibear was one of them. Why I bring this up is because I believe the culture of the animation meme community or the art drama community is very important to know the context of when going into these documents, going into these conversations, because what I do have to say is that the freaking art drama community, they do not have their priorities straight. They will talk about how somebody traced over somebody's art or how somebody is mad over their OC over talking about a literal actual pedophile. That happened with another artist called Crystalie, who is, thank goodness, arrested now. However,
That
people were
name
mostly
sounds
worried.
familiar. That name sounds familiar. Except if I'm thinking of a VTuber. But that drama sounds familiar.
About them
Maybe I'm wrong.
tracing or copying other people's art rather than them being a literal criminal. So I've just seen some worrying, activities and the way that people are using their courtesy over the situation. A lot of people are talking about irrelevant topics that have nothing to do with the victims or the actual main priority, main situation. Of course,
I mean, that's pretty normal when we look at the VTuber community. That's pretty much the same thing. Because, like, we look at like the evil toaster situation. A lot of people kept shut up about that. Nobody cared. But then like minor drama or like somebody coming back who was a harasser or a doxer coming back into the space. I mean, nobody bats an eye when that happens. Or like it's double standards because like one person who wasn't harassed was a harasser is allowed back into the space. Another person that's a harasser is like allowed into the space. The other one isn't. Like, depending on how hot they are.
all of these things that Synnibear did will have their time to shine, will have their time to speak, but let's support the victims. I think there's more than enough context that I've shown. There may be a little bit more context that you need, especially since this is a community, so there is some names that you may need context for. However, I will get straight into it right now. I will be going over the most important bits of information. I will not be going over everything. I know a lot of people like to be very meticulous. However, I feel like I'm just not that type of person who's able to do that mentally. But there are two documents that I'm referencing. One from the group chat that was shared with a few friends that were also minors, and then one from the main victim. So first, I will talk about the blatant misconduct and
how much content does this document have?
With their Discord server that was of 13 and older. And then I will talk about the victim. Not as if they're all not victims, because I feel like anybody who is a minor in these situations are victims. I would also like to preface that I will not be reading.
I mean, there's a difference. Like a victim is somebody like. I don't quite agree because like it is important that we understand that if nothing bad happened, they're not a victim. We're just putting unnecessary baggage on them.
Conversations in their entirety. Now, specific points I may, but not all of them. So feel free to pause and read. The person who wrote the document says, so starting off, things like this were often said within the group chat. The deleted user with the yellow profile picture here is me, specifically here. Well,
Withy is a bomb. A bomb? Bottom? She's talking about this at church. But
while the user with the purple deleted profile picture is another minor, they will appear multiple different times throughout the screenshots. Despite this fact, sexual jokes were shared in the group chat, and so were other inappropriate conversations. Now, I don't know who needs this message, but I know Synny specifically needs it. You do not need to be telling minors that you're horny. You're not even telling 15-year-olds that you're horny, buddy. This is just completely inappropriate. By this point, I had turned 16 years old, and the other person is still 15. Despite this, strange joking conversations like these still occurred with Synny. I feel like the main concern I have here is her engaging with someone who was 15 while she was 18. Not so much with me. Yeah, I don't need to read this out for you to tell you why it's wrong. I don't need to explain why it's wrong. Like, just read it yourself, man. The screenshots quite literally speak for themselves. Now, ordinarily, I would say an age difference like this isn't that bad, right? But it's also just like, I also just think it's really weird. You know what I mean? I personally think it's weird.
I mean, those age differences, I wouldn't say bad. They are not super common here in Germany. But, like, they exist. They exist. It's not super bad. It's mostly only that, there are some regulations around it, because, like, I don't know, like sexy time is can only happen if it's not if there's it becomes like a crime once there is like pressure on it. Then becomes a crime. I think if I'm not wrong. I wouldn't say this is necessarily too bad. However, like the sex jokes are definitely weird.
But like most people have made that sort of like agreeing decision that like it ain't that bad, you know, slap on the wrist, who gives a fuck? But like really, I just think this is really weird because not just that, like you may say 3 years, but I'm thinking like 3 years, one's a full grown adult can vote, one is one who's still in school in their second year of high school. It is very different. Not only that, Scootaloo Loves Sans or Synnibear was a content creator with 300,000
Of course,
views.
that's again that adds to it, like with the context, sure. But like you would need to make that same argument for like a 20-year-old and a 30-year-old, or a 40-year-old and a 30-year-old. That's like the main problem, because like most 30-year-olds, especially men, are still behaving like 20-year-olds. There's like a term for this. Like what is happening? I don't quite like something along the lines of like when the environment is safe, you keep like childlike behaviors.
Followers. Not only that, this is all done online. Think about it. There's a lot of things online and through text that cannot be told or seen through physical motions or like
Exactly.
seeing somebody moving their hand and talking.
I see that
Like
point.
I'm talking right now and I'm moving my hand, but y'all can't see that, and that also gives away a certain understanding.
True.
Or
I make
emotional
gestures as
aspect to how
well.
you're
You
speaking to
can't see
somebody.
it.
So with that in mind, somebody
I'm
could have seen
moving
like a
my hand.
very
Hello.
inappropriate joke that Cindy made and was just like, well, I'm not gonna say anything about it. Oh, they're probably just joking. Oh, it's not that bad. Or they're like trying to make excuses for these inappropriate things that they're saying. And I see that happens a lot with a lot of people. Bro, it happened to me. Like,
This gives me female porn addict vibes.
always made excuses for people who
Which
did
I
things
don't
that
know
were
that many
inappropriate to me
who fall into
or
that
said
category.
things that were just very out of line to me. So I could never blame a literal child for not being able to see this type of stuff or say anything about it. For context, the image I cut off was a gore photo of their own character. Cinny often posted
Huh? Huh? Oh, okay.
art within the group chat to show everyone, and
I
I posted this
guess.
drawing within the chat with a spoiler over it. I have edited it so you can see which
Confirmed necrophile.
drawing was under it
Yeah,
and
we're
highlighted,
looking at some
and
weird
this one
shit
is
today.
currently up on her page behind warnings. This drawing is gore art where her Sona is also in underwear. I think the response after the drawing was posted within the group chat is concerning. Again, this topic, bro, there is no excuse. These conversations, there is no excuse. You should not be talking as a as an 18-year-old talking to 15-year-olds about necrophilia and sending them straight up gore. Like, you know who's in the
Brother, ooh. Ew.
group chat, you know
What the
who's going to
fuck?
see it. It's very inappropriate. I'll read the statement in a second, but this is a new person who was invited to the group chat, and this is a conversation that they had, incredibly inappropriate. This is a different deleted user whose age I'm unsure of, as I was told that they were 24 when I had left.
We call him Anon.
Joined Discord server from 2021.
We call him
They are
Anon.
23. I remember seeing this conversation take place when I was on call with my partner. Cindy and another adult who I know to be either 23 or 24 at the time of me leaving though, were talking back and forth within the group chat venting. The venting ended up including sexual and sensitive topics. I think it's okay to vent about certain things like this in private, but it's not okay to talk about this when there were multiple minors present within the group chat, including me and my partner,
yeah,
who
true.
was 16 at the time.
Shit is
Being
weird.
able to read it, there was another minor, 16
What
as well,
did I get
who engaged in the
into?
conversation. Me and my partner were hanging out on call and had
Goddamn.
seen this conversation
What did
go
I
down,
get
and I
into?
remember the both of
That was
us
not a
listening to
good
each other
decision.
about it, feeling uncomfortable. Despite this, neither of us said anything. Even though we could have expressed
This
our
is
discomfort,
just a
looking back
huge
on it
bruh
now,
moment.
I feel as if it was not our responsibility because it's an adult's place to be mindful about what they're saying in the presence of those who are younger than
Still
them.
not quite as weird as the wishing death on your spouse website, but like this is
The
some
adults within
odd
the group
stuff.
chat should have known better to have
And why
this
is it always big content creators? Do I turn out that way if I reach like a big number? What is this? Is that like some conversion therapy on YouTube that turns you into a child lover? Like what is this? Why does this keep happening with big content creators? Like, is there a secret? I don't know. Is there a secret cult? I don't know. Do you, like I said, do you get conversion therapy? And like as far as I'm aware, necrophilia is linked to brain damage. If there's a woman listening to this, don't drop your kids on the head. Keep their head safe.
sort of conversation in private messages and not in the presence of people younger than them, yet they didn't. Now that's a more specific case. I'm going to be going more general when it comes to the next one, and that is because it is a general topic because this is a Discord. You can't catch everything. So I'll give a summary while showing some proof on the screen. Synnibear has it in the rules that in their server there can only be 13 or older inside of it, and that NSF
Notice for future content creators and content creators watching this. Do not create a Discord for which minors can access. Make an adult-only Discord, and if a minor appears on it, on that Discord server, ban that kid. Remove it from that server. You don't want these problems.
W is not allowed to be posted, messages or otherwise. Everyone else follows this rule, but Synnibear somehow does not have to, and constantly posts and talks about NSFW topics.
This reminds me of Marina. Marina had a Discord server where she was posting corn to minors. Yeah. That reminds me exactly of that.
Minors interact with this content, and Synnibear is aware of it. That's mostly it about.
And
the
Marina was
server.
also aware of it.
There's
This
a lot
reminds me.
more about the server that I didn't mention, but it's just like so many logs, so many things to go over that I just
Funny how here it's a problem, but in the VTuber space it's not.
don't have the time for it, and I feel like if you get the gist of it, you get the gist of it. It's not good, and it's not good for my sanity to keep going over it. So here's the second document that I am finally going to read. This will be the final section of the video.
Also, I like
the
art.
Straight up. The
Looks
artwork
nice.
in this document is censored, the NSFW, but the conversations that me and her had are still graphic, and I would recommend being 16 years or older if you're going to read this. I feel like I need to reiterate that Cindy is not a pedophile, but a groomer. She was not attracted to me for being a child. She did not date me. She groomed me. This is the conversation that they had when the first time they met. Pause to read.
Do I have my do I have a lens or something? Can I like see this? Okay. Yeah, I'm not reading all that. I'll trust the creator here for this.
They would call for hours.
Zoom.
Synnibear acknowledging their age.
Okay.
Maybe slight NSFW. Very inappropriate topic. This is
Okay.
not even the worst of it. It gets worse.
Yeah, I'm not reading all that. Sorry that happened, or congratulations.
Gives his
Okay, that art was weird as fuck.
victim access to a full non-con comic that they made. So finally, we've made it to the home stretch, the last part, and it's the fact that Synnibear actually made a response. And this response was an admittance to literally everything. Now I can give you a round of applause for that, for not being like Drake and not peeping a word.
Hey, at least she did that. There's some people here that don't do that. Fruit, where's the money, Fruit?
But you still are Drake and you still are Diddy. Now, what can we take away from this?
You are Drake. We can add another member to the Diddy force.
I do not think that Synnibear actually likes him younger. I think that this is just a situation where Synnibear just ended up grooming somebody. Now,
that term. She likes him younger. Oh, she does not like him younger. At least
I'm not saying
that's just
just
grooming.
ended up because they were obviously aware that it was something bad and it was something that they shouldn't have been doing, but ultimately it did happen.
I was going to make a video talking about a recent document that was released about me, but the situation
And it's
has
true.
gotten
The
much
document
more
is
serious
true.
as I realized the damage that I've caused. I've been an irresponsible content creator, and I've been acting inappropriately towards my fans.
Very inappropriately talking to minors, and yes, this should have not happened, but a lot of it, I do think it has to do with just irresponsibility. Nobody really called them out. I've noticed that on a
True,
lot of
true.
screenshots, a lot of
It's
people
also
didn't really
like,
call them out until this document. And a few people might have mentioned it a few times, but honestly, I think that there's a possibility that they could have been unaware that what they were doing was wrong.
I mean, the possibility does exist. She's a 20-year-old, 21-year-old. You know, some 20-year-olds are a bit, I'm gonna say retarded. That does happen. But that is not an excuse for the things she has done. I expected it going into this to be a lot worse, but this is still fairly tame in comparison. I also feel like since like there is no really process of growing up anymore, the the line between like being an adult and being a kid like kind of is like start to overlap, and like it's difficult. I don't know.
But
It's just
again, I
it's
have
weird
no way to
behavior
prove that,
certainly.
and still the damage has already been done.
This alone is enough for me to realize I need to make sweeping changes to how I conduct myself and how I interact with my fans. But the most serious thing I've done is I've groomed a minor. I became friends with a 14-year-old after I made a mental note to myself to not become friends with minors again.
Well, pack it up, Buttercup, because you fucking failed. That will be the end of all the evidence and all the videos. Now I'm going to be going on to my personal opinions and all.
I mean, you can be friends with minors. You just need to watch out on certain topics, and if they get weird, call them out. If the minors get weird, because sometimes even the minors get weird. Let's be real. And like some minors do definitely know what they are doing. I think the biggest mistake that she has made is she did not make her Discord 18 plus. That should have actually been like
Also, my
the
just
way to
personal
go.
notes about some random shit that I've found out while talking about this situation. The amount of people who are deciding to stay neutral despite all of the evidence on Twitter is
Be neutral. I'm gonna quote Mr. Pokey here. Be neutral. Bro was not neutral.
absolutely insane. Like, I've
Sometimes.
seen so many people who are like, I'm staying neutral, I'm staying neutral. And
Be
low-key,
neutral.
like, I respect
Neutral
you
take.
staying neutral if there has not been anything that's come out, or if Synnibear hasn't responded yet. But the thing is that Synnibear has responded and has literally admitted to what they did. Like, why are you saying that you're going to stay neutral when this is already basically
Be
explained
neutral.
and resolved? Now, I wouldn't say resolved in the sense that anything is fixed, but I'm just saying that we have all the information that we need, all that we have, and it's basically a confirmation of, if not all, but most of the messages and chat logs that we've seen. Now, this is like really personal to me. Like, I really wanted to talk about for a minute about how I even know this artist, and I'm not saying that I know them.
I mean, it's like, sure, if like in this community, it becomes kind of personal, because like you don't want the space to have a bad reputation. I mean, that's over for VTubers. That's over.
As a friend or anything like that, but
I
like
cannot
I
protect
was
the
in the anime
space.
community. That's why I gave that
I can
whole
create
like
a separate
sort of like
space.
backstory
with my own community, but nothing else.
animation backstory back there, because I needed to talk about like my relations towards it, why I feel like so strongly about it, and why like I am very like hyperactive and talk and a lot about this situation.
So this is just now about her. I don't think we need to go too deep on that. So basically what happened, a popular, like fairly big content creator groomed a minor. Not like interest in a sexual way, not like a PDF file, but like definitely talked about inappropriate things with the minor. I would say this is kind of similar to like the Doctor Disrespect situation, where at least we have the chat messages. They talked like inappropriate with the minor. That's like the main takeaway from this. Is it too bad? Is it bad? Yes. Is it like in comparison to other things? Is it super bad? No. I think she can make like amends to her, like to the damage that she has caused. I would say that there's still a way to redeem this, but she definitely needs to change a lot of things. Turn the Discord server to 18 plus. Stop interacting with minors. I think permanently now. And yeah, and also if she said she wouldn't talk to minors anymore, that means that kind of has happened before. Yeah, but that's literally the video. I think we go to a different one.